Hello, everyone. This is attorney Andre McKinney Dorval. I want to say first off, I hope everyone is doing well. Yes, guys, I am sitting down in this one. There's a lot going on. I got to take a seat. I have a few things I want to update you on and share with you. First on the list, this past Monday, March 24th, there was actually a hearing held in Boston in connection with the Haitian Bridge Alliance lawsuit filed last month, the end of last month, actually filed in advance of the government terminating the CHNV program. Now, we had been talking about that news articles or news outlets like CBS News had been reporting that they saw intel information that the program was going to be terminated. Well, guys, lawsuits were ahead of the ball. And this past Monday was a hearing. Now, in that hearing, the plaintiffs are asking the court for temporary relief while this case is being litigated. If the judge were to grant that, then that would give the ability for people to continue with their parole status and also continue working in connection with their work permit issued pursuant to their humanitarian parole. Now, the court heard arguments from both sides, did not issue a ruling on this past Monday, but there's a scheduled hearing on April 7th. And so at that point in time, if not sooner, we will know how the judge will ultimately rule. Now, the article did indicate, guys, that the judge was troubled by some of the government's arguments presented. And so hopefully that is a positive sign that the judge, certainly while this case is being litigated, will give some sort of temporary protection against the termination of the program and the work EAD. Next update, guys. There's a lot. That's why I had to sit down. Next update. Now, in our last video, I talked about if the program in fact ends, the work permit, the government is also seeking to have that terminate as well. Many people have other status like TPS, or maybe others have filed a asylum application or some other application that allows you to have a work permit. In the video that we last published, I talked about that because of the USCIS agency hold, even another application submitted, if it's submitted by a CHNV or U4U parolee or someone who was paroled in on family reunification program, those three category programs, the agency hold applies to all three. So this video, I wanted to go a little bit deeper to expose what exactly the agency hold, what or who it applies to. The USCIS, agency hold applies to CHNV parolees. It also applies to the parolees under the Uniting for Ukraine. The agency hold also applies to parolees that were entered the country, under family reunification program. It applies to those categorical parolees. And what the government cites as the reason for this is because of fraud, public safety, and national security vetting that they indicate was not performed. And because of that, they are pausing any other immigration application benefits that any one of these parolee individuals may submit. Now, what that means in practical form is that you may submit your application, but it's not going to be processed or adjudicated or decided upon until the agency hold is lifted. In fact, reading from the memo, it indicates once USCIS completes a comprehensive review and evaluation of the in-country population of aliens who are or were paroled into the United States under these categorical parole programs, USCIS may issue a subsequent memo lifting this administrative hold. Now, guys, the memo doesn't indicate how long it's going to take for this comprehensive review and evaluation of the in-country parolees to take place and conclude. Is this going to slow down any applications that you may have submitted, it absolutely is. They have not issued any other guidance or memos subsequent to this offering any more headway. This memo placing an agency hold or pause was issued February 14th, so a little over a month ago. Next, what I want to share with you is that, guys, it is being reported that respondents are disappearing. We've heard about respondents or non-citizens, Venezuelans or of different backgrounds, being, disappearing, and believed to have been sent to El Salvador. Well, guys, just to put things in context, I am in Florida, specifically South Florida, and it is being reported that individuals with pending removal proceedings are being disappeared out of the country. And that's open air quotes, disappeared out of the country. And it appears that the respondents who are disappearing or seemingly nowhere to be located are pro se respondents. And it isn't until a family member or it isn't until an attorney has been officially retained that they're learning that these individuals are gone. And so with that, I want to remind you guys that we published a video where we talked about if you have a immigration court date and the government attorney is seeking to dismiss your particular case where you maybe have filed for asylum and you haven't had your hearing to be able to put on your evidence in case and the government seemingly dismisses it or terminates the proceeding, we offer tips and strategies. And so that's going to be important because, guys, for those of you who have been in the country less than 2 years and you are in removal proceedings, you have a defense in your removal proceedings. The government terminating your proceedings before you actually get to put on your case or your defense, that may subject you or open you up to expedited removal. So that is important to know, because certainly down here in South Florida, respondents are disappearing. And so, guys, be aware of that if you are in South Florida or if you are in a state where similar occurrences are also being reported. This concludes my update for you. I wanted to share those things with you. I will be sharing more information. There's every single video. Work with a licensed attorney. At the very least, if you are someone impacted by any of these measures that have been announced or signed by way of executive order, at the very least, consult with a licensed attorney concerning your matter. There's so much information, guys. It's almost seemingly virtually impossible to keep up at the pace and scale, especially with reports coming out of individuals missing, different policies, and not to mention how the policies are being effectuated depending on where you are physically located in the United States. That also has a bearing on some of the things you might see in South Florida that you may not see in other parts of the country, which is why it's important to share information so that people are aware. I do thank you guys so much for watching. I thank you for all of your support. I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye-bye.